Hello and welcome to the crypto day morning for the Gregorian calendar date of the 20th day of July 2018. Like always, all trades, investment bets are within your own risk, own reward. I'm going to be very quickly talking about the Bitcoin chart. I did close to a half-an-hour video yesterday regarding just a lot of miscellaneous different things within the ETFs and so on and so forth. But when you're adjusting to the message of the market, one of the things of note was, when was this thing looking like the 3,000 target could have possibly hit? And here you made the lower low, and this little area did what bear markets don't usually do, and that is find support at previous key supports in which it came from. As we can see in here, fell through for a good leg lower, fell through for a leg lower, and here it obviously managed to make a leg lower a couple days later. That still counts, but it never did such on this level, thus making a matching bottom. This was a little bit of progressionary signs because this 18 correctionary phase, so I'm looking for a small correction to resist near the 18 lows, for a large correction to resist near the 18 highs. It supported it, had this higher low correction or correctionary sell-off that did not hold and stay below the 18 lows, at least for not that long of a period of time. It was definitely not able to break down below it. And then doing what bull markets do, which is the opposite is this analysis here, is that it breaks layers of resistance. And now, since the fact it's been several days of managing a sideways consolidation, so a very, very nice looking setup. Still a long ways to go, technically speaking, to confirm any kind of bull market movements. But like I've stated, when these cryptos are ready to go, they can have significant gains, and it wouldn't surprise me if this year it ends up breaking past the resistance, because like I stated yesterday, it was a very long sideways correctionary move. Of course, if this rally does fail, I'm going to be looking like this little area in the 18 average, the area being around 6,700. For that of the failure, because the statement that was made was pretty large, outrageous, and magnificent, whatever word we want to, bold, there's another word, just a bold statement. Because it's already made this large move. So it's going to be a very noticeable failed move if such is the case, but that's only, again, if such is that. The 3-day chart is the time frame that I want to look at to analyze the reversal of the possible trend. So therefore, test number 1 of such, after its first fall to the 6,000 handle, was resisted for about a half a dozen 3 days, or maybe a few weeks rather, but for 6 periods on the 3 days, another way of putting it. Matching the low, didn't break it though, just matched it. And then another test in here, got above it. So it established a level of resistance, but it was unable to get above such in this, and then it fell through the 18 here. Well, again, technically it was a lower low here, but for what it's worth, it was a matching low again for 2 times, or two leg lowers in a row. And within the current situation, band is flattened out, and it's working on establishing resistance. Amongst this time frame, I'm looking for the situation. I don't want my moves to be too small or too large. I want it to be just right. So as it stands on this time frame, that's not that much of a move. It's barely above the 18. I need it to go to establish, I mean, I'm okay with a lower high, but it's got to be well into the 8,000s for me to have a standard move. And anything breaking, and it's okay to happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if this does happen, and anything breaking 10,000 without any type of moves, well, that would be too high. But let's just face it, that's the way cryptos work. They can have moves of magnificent proportions when the time for such is ready to go. And again, I'm not saying that it isn't or it is not, rather that those type of movements can easily happen. And for myself, instead of rather trying to guess or predict when they're going to occur, just always be long in such an event and always be ready on the higher prices and the lower prices even too, for how you're going to manage your bankroll. For me, risk reward portfolio management is always job number one. Okay, I spent like 3 or 4 more minutes than I planned on doing this video, so thank you for tuning in and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.